What are we doing, girls? Ah, shit. We gotta go get you some grain. Come on. Come on, knuckleheads. Come on, knuckleheads. I wish you knuckleheads would learn to use these top nests, because this bottom one's a pain in the ass. Yes, it is. Come on, girls. Come on. I just give them a whole bunch of bread. I shouldn't have done it. There they go. Come on, girls. Come on, babies. Come on. Yeah, I gotta go get some. I told you that day she had to go get some. She didn't do it. Gotta go get some right now. Come on. Come on, babies.
The letter from Hood came from out of the blue, like the letter saying, we'll be terminating your contract. It's not like there was any, like, we need to talk about this, you know, trucking is getting expensive, we're not selling the milk. It was just like, we won't be renewing your contract. And we all got the letters at about the same day.
I called up Mike Seaver and I said, I want to know what the hell's going on. What do you mean? I said, why did you drop us? He said, it was very straightforward in your letter. You're too far away from the plant. I said, really?
We thought we were in this for the long haul, you know, and to get the letter, I mean, it's just like, wow, what do we do now? I mean, you know, we were thinking about, you know, we've got a new tractor, first tractor we had in 25 years that was new, and, you know, how do you pay for that? And, you know, just trying to figure out what we were going to do. You know, we never even thought about, you know, the company, you know, forming a company or anything. We just wanted to think how we were going to survive.
A new milk company, that's what you're saying.
You're starting a new milk
The milk
company in Maine. Maybe you're going to replace Hood.
Well, that's what we're doing. Hood dropped those guys.
Yes, they did.
And so these are the 10 people that they dropped. We helped them form a milk company, and they're going to be on the shelf next week.
Well, I'll tell you, I haven't bought a Hood product since they did that.
Well, here's one of the farms right on the cart. And we have
Oh, that's neat. I like that.
Yeah, it means it just goes to show you it's a small state. We can help each other out, I think, don't you?
Terrific. Keep up the good work.
See ya.
I'll be looking for you on the shelf.
All right.
What I'd like to try and do is give you the evolution of Maine's own organic milk company. And how do you say moo? With buying our milk, obviously. Every time one of our farms disappears, the infrastructure that supports it is less able to exist. And eventually it will get low enough that even though we'll have some viable farms, there won't be the grain people there to supply us, there won't be the haulers to pick up the milk. We'll run out of people to support this overall venture. One of our commitments is that 90% of whatever would be profit is going to go back to the farmers' payment for their milk.
We want you people to be in business and stay in business long term.
Yeah, I mean, if you bleed them to death, guess what happens? They'll go out of business.
Are you going to be taking in other farms?
That is our fervent hope.
I can't wait. Just knowing that we own our own business is just, like Scotty said, we never had nothing to be excited about. Now we do.
Yeah, lights off.
Moo has the potential to keep these small farms going, keep stimulating local economies, providing that great product, connecting people to the food that they eat, and just being an example of one way that little farms can make a go of it. You know, it would be great.
Mom, Abby keeps saying she's gonna eat all my cookies. No, not.
Did you want yours to have green eyes or white eyes?
Green.
Okay. I think you need to save some frosting for another cookie. Don't you?
This is a pillow.
Pillows aren't supposed to hurt. Colleen, no more pillow fighting.
Oh.
Abby is coming back. I want you to tell her you're sorry.
Hey, I want you guys in the living room.
You
Come
guys
on.
not to be laying there kicking.
Watch TV in there. That's the best place.
Yeah, but I used to wear dresses when I was little. That's all we had to wear. I had a lot of sisters.
Doing LC? What you doing, LC? You doing, girls? Crazy girls. Yeah, crazy girls. Get the skid steer and take that down, Sala. We'll take that down. So I scraped it all up this morning. He'll leave it right there and waste it. I don't like wasting it.
Put it right in there.
Yeah, we can put it in there on the other end. I don't care where we put it, as long as we get rid of it. You know, as far as I know, from what we've been told, and we haven't had a board of directors meeting now for, 3 weeks, that the milk should be on the store shelf on the 22nd, and they're going to start processing, I think, either the 18th or the 19th. And before we was excited, but now we're really ecstatic about the whole thing. I mean, if we can pull this off, it's going to be, just plain super.
Yeah, we just lost the opening. Okay, yeah. How many farmers has he talked to? Do you know? This is like the 6th startup date that we've had for Target, that some complication with the equipment has set back, that these farmers have had to wait for to see whether or not that they were going to survive. And it's getting pretty old. Hey, Richard, throw me, you got a minute? It appears that it was some switches on the control panel was all that was holding them up. So we're probably going to do next Friday for an event. Yeah, I know, it's discouraging. We'll do what we can do. We'll put something together and
What do you think the problem is? All I heard was that it wasn't filling the cartons or something?
Well, they haven't even done CIP.
They never ran
so
it.
They never ran anything on it.
All
so
right.
you have to CIP the machine, clean the machine before you can run it. I feel it'll run fine. It just, we just need some more time to get there.
So the milk, see, the milk's that way, so it comes this way.
Comes this way, okay. There's a couple of tanks up there. One of them is going to be essentially our processing storage tank. And then it starts flowing through here, through the separation process. This time, we'll actually make sure that we have product before we get carried away with ourselves.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. I'll make sure that gets on your plate. But you can help set the table.
Mama, can I help you cut that?
It's really challenging to cut, Paige. I think I should probably even use an
Paige,
axe.
you need a chainsaw to cut it.
Oh, I know where axe is.
Well, I would take it downstairs. I'd take it downstairs, Paige.
The axe or the squash? And cut it downstairs with an axe?
The axe, Mama.
No, I'm definitely not.
The axe or axe? No, not mine.
That's Henry's hatchet.
It's an axe.
Be careful with that, Henry.
No, the axe is big. I don't know. What's too big?
Can you find your boots?
I can't find them, sorry to say.
Oh, it's too small because you couldn't even hold on to it.
Yeah. It's almost out. It was almost. It has a white thing around its eyes. How do you know?
Look, there it is. Here. Climb over it.
Oh, good girl, good girl.
Look, there it is, Henry.
Good girl. Daddy, that is a boy or a girl?
Let's check.
Is it a boy?
Yep.
Yay!
Little boy. Okay, we gotta get her 2 buckets of lukewarm water and a bunch of hay.
For the future of dairy farming in Washington County, you know, for my kids who may or may not want a dairy farm, for other people's kids in this community that may or may not want a dairy farm, Moo Milk has to work.
If Moo Milk flops, maybe Tide Milk could figure it out and we could milk however many cows and peddle however much milk. But the chances of there being another 50-cow dairy in Washington County ever, I don't know, in the next 100 years are very slim. If Moo Milk can be sustainable and we can get paid a decent wage and think we can make this thing go steady for like a couple years, hey, you know, maybe there's room for another farm in Washington County.
I mean, 'cause from what we see in the store down there, I mean, down at Waterville, yeah, it's gone by 5 o'clock.
All going in and asking where it is. Seriously, we can do that.
I want to take over New England. That's what I want to do.
I'm trying to figure out how many miles a round trip would be from here to the furthest farm away. It's going to be 500 miles for God's sakes.
A round trip?
Yeah,
It's
from
probably 700 or 800, I would think.
I'd like to say very few words, but I really want to say something about our state. This could not have happened, I don't think, in any place except here in Maine. We have an opportunity to become the breadbasket of New England, and with our help of not only our political leaders, but also our business leaders, I think we can accomplish it. I'll give you the first readings that's come back. Wow, this tastes great. This tastes fresh. Where can I get it? What do you mean they don't have it? Where is it?
When we started milking cows in '83, there was 1,200 farmers. Now we get a little less than 300. And we counted up the other day, my friend and I, and there's only 20 young farmers in the state of Maine. The rest of us are all 62 years old or older. I'm 65. I'm probably one of the older ones.
The 10 farms that produce Moo milk share ownership in the company, and 90% of the profits go directly back to those farms, 5 of which are located right here in Aroostook County.
You know, if we would have took those farms out of the equation, you know, there'd be less feed bought, less employment.
The milk is transported by a company in Holden, processed at the Smiling Hill Dairy in Westbrook, and then distributed by Oakhurst Dairy of Portland and Crown and Main Co-op of Gardner, making it an entirely Maine-made product.
When organic dairy farmer Vaughn Chase received a letter informing him that processor H.P. Hood would no longer be taking his milk, he feared he'd be forced out of business. With the support of local government agencies and a business consultant, Vaughn and the other farmers created a company to process and distribute their milk locally under their own brand, Maine's own organic milk company, Moo Milk. But the most unusual aspect of the venture is its legal status. Moo Milk is a low-profit, limited liability corporation, or L3C, intended to make it easier for companies with a social mission to receive investments, including loans and grants from charitable foundations and from government. We are going to now reward businesses that do not make a profit if someone approves of their social mission.
The cow looks pretty happy, though. It should look sad.
He just didn't realize that we actually did have a social mission. Our social mission was to save these 10 dairy farms, you know, save a bunch of jobs and actually create jobs. And we've done all of that so far.
We're even Republicans.
Yeah, actually, I'm a registered Democrat.
Oh,
that's
I'm not.
That's because I wanted to register Republican when I was 18, and I asked the guy at the Democratic booth if I could do that, and he said, "Sure, go ahead." Then when I go up to vote the first time, I'm signed up as a Democrat. So
that was probably me.
Yeah, probably was. Yeah.
I used to tell people that all the time.
Hi, it's Aaron.
What time you gonna pick your cows up in the morning? They're not. What happened?
Hey, Romy, what can I do?
What about Herb? His cell phone is gone.
Hey, how's it going?
Oh, a little wet, but
Was it raining?
oh, pouring down here.
No shit.
They're charging $5 a cup for it, and they said it's selling like hotcakes. So certain people are going to buy no matter what the price is.
Right, right.
And we just got to keep that store shelf full. I mean,
I'll put it on store shelf myself. It'll get done.
Usually he calls me and I get an update, and I haven't heard from him since like Saturday or something.
Oh, Christ.
Who is it?
But it's her. I'm going to eat.
Yeah, you can call him back.
Man.
Who's that?
You've got him.
well, okay, we'll show off his here. My name is Don Cody. I'm in Jonesport.
Yep.
I'm a 62-year-old milk connoisseur. I don't know how you do this. I've got what I say, it's not a totally bad, but a pretty bad carton of milk. It doesn't taste like it hasn't been refrigerated properly. I'm not looking for any free product.
That's okay. We won't give you any free product. Maybe we'll send you a Moo Milk mug.
Oh, no, you kidding me? That would be great. All right, then here's my phone number.
I am not actually discouraged by the really crappy results that show up on the second week of this because empty shelves are a good sign for us, and that means long-term we're going to be in good shape. The only metric I believe right now that we really need to be concerned with is the number of stores. And as you saw in the upper left corner, right now we're in 120 stores.
In Calais, a customer was buying the one carton that was left, and there was a little milk underneath it in the case. And so the store manager took it back. We were there delivering our raw milk. Carly was yesterday, and then the Oakhurst guy had brought more moo milk, but he saw some milk under the crates in his truck, so he didn't want to leave any of it. And the dairy manager was like, "Yeah, I don't want to have leaky cartons, even though it might have just been one." They didn't know, so they didn't leave any, which is a bummer.
If we see a leaker coming off the line, it's a crisis. The top didn't seal, the bottom didn't seal. Okay, yeah. How do you know? Well, my shoes are wet because the milk's all over the floor. But so these ones that happen like that, they're coming off. We pick them up, we put them in a crate, and we put them on the truck. Now, at the end of the day, you can look at the truck. Any milk on the floor? No. Close the door. Okay. Now, Shoppy comes in the morning. Do you see any milk? Yes, I saw a drop on the floor. In Shoppy's drop is a drop of milk on the. Yeah, there's milk on the floor. There's a drop.
They definitely have to fix this.
Because Janet and I went down to Waterville Distribution. They come in with 3 trucks, and every truck had leakers on them, and I'm talking a lot of leakers. And them was the ones that we had sent down to Oakhurst, which Jason finally brought over to you, at least he was supposed to have had. And, yeah. Well, the 2 we bought yesterday got dented corners, and we want to know why. And why the hell that hasn't been taken care of. Put a line on that goddamn crate, or go buy cardboard boxes, and let's do like OV, ship it in cardboard boxes. That's going to cost money. Well, we're losing money by leaking cartons, people not buying our goddamn milk, and the store shelves not being full. Right on the corner of the carton. You can look right through that just like looking in the daylight. Exactly. Whoop.
Milk on the floor.
16, 17, 18, 19. Aha! Aha! 19. Yes. Pouring milk. 19 drops. Well, I've got milk all over my shoes. I went to destruction, as I said, and like the entire seams were coming undone. 1 and 2. What we found out in the drop test were that if you drop it from 12 inches, basically between about 12 and 14 drops, David, you had leakers. And if you went up to 20, you had a lot of leakers. Mm-hmm. So, and 2 of the things that have been discussed about how to mitigate the leaking was to put a cardboard slip in the bottom or bubble wrap.
Depending on how much bubble wrap we get, it works out between 6 and 10 cents a hundredweight.
Minimum.
Yeah.
Operationally, we really need to understand, as we keep floating this boat, you know, we keep digging in our pockets to do this, at what point in time can we see operational stability with revenue?
My estimate is September.
We're not going to make it then.
That's why you have to raise money.
It is critically important we get this sales piece under wraps immediately, because that will generate operating revenue. Once we can do that, then you can tell the customers all about us, but if you tell the customers about us and it's not there, you're wasting your money.
Yeah, I think right.
Well, I gotta go.
I'm gonna run too.
Right. Is Romy still on?
I'm still here. I can hardly hear half the time, but what you need?
We getting paid this week, or?
Not that I noticed it. Did the boss just hung up? Why didn't you ask him?
Why are you breathing so heavy? Huh? You feel all right? You're breathing awful heavy. So, seems to feel all right. Ears are good. Here you go. Come on, half pint. Come on. I think we're gonna have to take a knife to that nipple anyway, huh, bossy? Yeah, that's one tight nipple. Mm-hmm. Hard work and nothing empty. I don't know, I'd like to try to stick this out, but boy, it gets awful frustrating. But you know, you just can't do it for nothing all the time, and that's what everybody expects of you.
Listen, this is all there is to it. There's nobody buying it in the stores. All these people shooting their mouth off aren't buying the milk, and I've had it with them. Well, how many people do we need to market milk to, Bill, to have made the progress that we needed to be able to solve our problems? How many people do we need to buy a gallon of milk a week?
3,500 a week.
3,500. Where the hell are they when it comes to spending the extra $1 or the $2 that they said would be worth it to Maine consumers to pay to change these practices? I'm a little miffed at them.
One of the problems that we have is that the committed consumer, whoever the committed consumers are, however big that pool is, already has some level of brand loyalty. There's no advertising, there's great Facebook presence and there's great free press, but there's zero advertising. Oakhurst spends $2 million a year on advertising.
I mean, Maine makes about as much organic milk as it consumes, so
Yep.
Hood withdrew, so there's a notch there in the market.
Yep.
We went over this 100 times on the market, and the market should be there.
No, it's just, I don't understand everybody's thinking that they can sell all this milk. They just can't. It's not like you have a new product, you have milk, If yours ain't there, they buy somebody else's. You just gotta have a good product and hope that people like yours better and will continue to buy it and grow, but to get all excited and think you're gonna sell a trailer load of milk, it ain't gonna happen.
And we owe short-term bills.
So current bills that we owe is $6,200. 1 to 30 bills is $15,649.
That was last month's bills.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And
2 months ago bills.
yeah, 31 to 60 days is another $15,514.
Okay.
Certainly things like the disconnection notice from the electricity, like that has to be paid.
So you're on top of that?
Yeah.
Where is that?
Bangor Hydro.
683.
684, yeah. And these people that we owe $15,000 for, that is 31 to 60 days, like Ingraham's, like, I can't believe that they gave you another pallet of wrap.
Mm-hmm. And a hat. It's my new hat.
6 months ago, I could have said Aaron and I never had a fight. We just never had a fight, you know, which is very unusual, I realize, in relationships. But, you know, we worked so well together and we just didn't fight. But in the last 6 months, it is I am constantly fighting with him. This definitely isn't how I envisioned it to be. Like, I did not envision, you know, for my kids to be like, just stop fighting and stop talking about money and stop. I mean, that wasn't my vision of how I wanted them to grow up.
There's no winners here, and on to the fact that the economy is still in deep distress. People are out of work. They've lost faith in government, and they're pessimistic.
You should maybe ask him about damage from cortisone in there. Remember that person? No? Okay.
I ain't worried about that.
Okay.
As long as it feels good, let's do it.
We'll pick here. We'll go right in the tendon. Yep. You're gonna feel it now.
Oh, I feel it.
Look at your dates, and if you decide that, you know, you want to have surgery.
I'd like to. Well, I could still afford health insurance.
Yeah.
But I'd be laid up for a week. I mean,
You've been in a sling 2 or 3 weeks. You can do some stuff in front of you with that hand, you know. Okay, but you can't
Like
be
gravitate?
You can't be going, grabbing, lifting, and you know.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just have to either do it and be able to afford the help, because it would actually take like 2 people to. I'm not saying I'm super good, but it would take a couple people to work my kind of hours that, you know, you're not going to get somebody that wants to work from 4 in the morning to 7 at night for 7 days a week. So I'd have to have 2 people to split it up, you know. So I mean,
The total is $1,282,000 in expenses against $639,000 of income, giving a gross profit of negative $643,000.
These numbers are not good. Let's be crystal clear. They're terrible.
Yeah.
And it's, you know.
And we're all feeling it.
The group here is the bank that's holding up the project
And
right
we
now.
need to change who the bank is.
All your past due payable is people sitting around this table. So that, you know, that's not gonna get solved, but you've gotta get to where you're covering your monthly expenses at a break-even operation. And we're not there right now. So each month, each week we continue, it's coming out of somebody's hide somewhere.
We burn cash. The question is our burn rate, you know, in the sense of, are we calming, or are we still hemorrhaging?
I'll let you know where the money's going. If we don't get any money, we got to get some money.
Everybody's gotten that, David.
I don't. Well, how come we've gone 5 weeks with no friggin' check and no settlement check? You told us that we were going to have it. It's Thursday, then now it's going to be Friday, and we haven't got it. I don't think you fellas give a shit.
There you go.
Well, that's fine with you. I like to see you fellas go without no payment and got the payments that farmers got.
David,
yes.
you think I've got from Moo Milk?
You're getting paid. I suppose everybody in Farm Bureau is getting paid.
My expenses of driving around for this organization exceeds all of that money.
We're not getting nothing. We're not getting nothing. Nothing for 5 weeks.
How can you bitch at a man that's paying you more than he's making for this stuff? Yeah, I would. If Bill quit, I would quit. I'd be done. I ain't gonna screw with that. That would be such a goddamn mess that you couldn't even begin to figure it out. You know, I've never been involved with anything with a group of farmers, but Jesus Christ, it's an awful mess, you know? But anyway, well, I gotta go, Herb. Talk to you later. Yeah, okay. Yeah, bye.
The company is growing, sales are increasing, you know, all kinds of good things are happening, but they're not happening at the pace that bails these farmers out of being in hot water.
We just got off a conference call with Bill, and I'm going to kill that son of a bitch come Friday. I've gone from $50,000 a month down to 27, milking 118 cows. How goddamn long do you think I'm going to stand that? Yeah, we're all in the same freaking boat, but I'm not going to starve my son to death and my farm to death and my cows to death because Bill Elbridge can't get the goddamn job done. And he come out and admitted today, had no funds at all in our checking account, nothing, zero. Well, he said, I'm working on it. He said, I got 3 leads. He said, about 350,000. I said, having leads and having money in the bank is 2 different friggin' things. I mean, leads don't amount to a cat turd if you can't friggin' capitalize on the goddamn thing. I mean, I've been around for 65 years. I'm no goddamn fool.
None of this stuff happens nearly as fast as I would like. And someone asked me to grade myself, and I said C-. The reason I'm giving myself a C- is not because of the work that I'm doing, but not meeting the expectations that I had for myself.
We just ain't making it.
Well,
For what we're getting paid right now, we're going behind every day.
Mark, listen, if I was paying way less than anybody else, I'd say, and you guys have to understand, since the day we started, my major expense is paying the farmers the difference between what I was getting and what we promised.
Can you get more anywhere else, Mark?
Well, Laura, I'm not going to keep digging a hole.
Oh, no,
I've gone behind $40,000 since the 1st of October, and I'm not going any further.
But can you
Now, we had an agreement when we sat down here in August that we weren't going to take any less than what we were getting at the time. Do we remember that?
Well, we'd be done now. If we didn't take less, we'd be done right now. We shouldn't even be
Yeah,
in
we
Bangor.
took less, and my cows have suffered for it, and I got a grain bill, and I got a fuel bill. I'm not saying this to be nasty, but we sat there in August, and you told us your business, you set businesses up and fund them, and we milk the cows. Well, I milk my cows, and now I want to get paid for it. And you haven't got it set up, and you haven't got it funded to get what we first set down originally. We needed $30 milk.
And I said that we would get to it. I didn't say that we would definitely get it. I said we would get to it. And if you remember, it was 6 months after we started making milk sales. All right? 6 months from when we make milk sales is July. It is not today. It is not yesterday. It was not the first of the year.
How long do you think that we
I
can
have
keep going
absolutely
on?
no
I have
idea.
zero money to pay Mofka $1,250 for certification.
Mark, I can't help you.
Okay, that's all I had to know. That's it.
I can't.
Okay.
I mean, we either got to just vote to fold up or what?
No, I mean, I don't want to vote to fold up.
No, I don't either, but we can't keep drawing from money we don't have.
We're living off investor money while we build our brand, and we're not at that point that we can sustain even the price we're paying right now.
Can I say something from an objective outside position? Sure. Every time I've spoken, whether it was in front of the legislature, or whether it was at a seminar on L3Cs, I mean, Moo Milk is nationwide recognized as this renegade, we're gonna make this happen, we're doing something that's never been done before because it's the only way you're gonna do something different is if you do something different. There were 5 or 6 people right next to me that said they would invest in Moo Milk, they would invest in something similar to that. They could do this in Lewiston, they could do this here, they could do it there, all these places where we're trying to make things happen. But it takes a few minutes to get things off the ground.
The guy that gave me my written test yesterday for my Class 1 license, all he buys is Moo Milk. And he's never bought organic milk before. And when he heard I was a Moo Milk farmer and I just left the conference call, you know, that's why I passed the test.
And what we're doing by making the farmer part of the consumer's decision to buy their milk, we're doing something that none of the nationals can do.
These guys can do this. They just have to believe they can do it. And they have to have some support to believe that right now.
You go milk your cows, and I'll set the business up. You milk cows, and I set businesses up.
Well, the business is running. There's milk on the shelf.
Yeah.
kind of coffee is this? Real coffee here? Cafe Bustelo, is that what you mean?
Yeah. Is it too strong for you, Ron?
Huh?
Was it too strong for you?
No. I've been able to stay awake and talk to you, and I think I listened to what you said, so that was the purpose of the coffee.
We're all trying to make this work, but we can't be sabotaged. We can't have milk that tastes like cow shit. We can't have milk squirting all over the coolers. Can't have that. That's not acceptable.
I don't like getting into other people's business this much. But we got to solve this problem, and I got
to have some money, and I got to have it yesterday. We need to kick Bill out there and let him do what he does best.
That's right.
And that's funding money.
Now, was this it was Laura's parents?
No, Laura's parents lived across the road in them set of farm buildings. This was my father's farm, and then my brother.
You've been neighbors the whole way along, then?
Yeah, I married the girl next door, yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
I guess the other move question is just, where we're going. So you want to be part of it, but you don't want to have to worry about day to day whether it's happening or not.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
It's one thing to worry about.
Yeah.
It's one, I never thought being underfunded was a bad thing, because I farm.
Yep.
So, but I could have managed, but I couldn't imagine how bad underfunding has been for this company.
Yeah. Well, it's the line of credit issue.
Yeah.
If you don't have equity, then you don't have a line of credit.
Yeah.
If you don't have a line of credit, then you can't pay your bills on time.
Yeah.
Then you spiral, and then you get behind, and then you're in trouble.
It's just awful. And Bill's a good guy. I like Bill. The only thing I could really say bad about Bill, he's probably always been a little overly optimistic.
Yeah. Well, he needs to be. Otherwise, you wouldn't have started.
Yeah.
He got in over his head. Because, down to the last board meeting there, and he said right out point blank, if I ever get out of this friggin' milk business unscathed, it'll be a miracle, and I'll never ever do it again. He didn't understand the ramifications, of what it takes to run a dairy farm. Mark. So tell him I'm on the phone with Aaron. So, I don't know. This whole thing just kind of sucks. You right there, Janet? Do me a favor, tie my shoes. So I gotta go get a load of. I auto. Aaron's like, I gotta go to Velcro. You my sneakers, I do. I just slip them on and slip them off. But these old work shoes are something different. He says, I hope when I'm your age that Callie be tying my shoes. I'll have to talk to that girl. Shit.
Did you have a question, babe?
How much does baby grow a day?
I think we
Sort of like
baby is probably
stuff
about that
like
big.
that, because it is a frequently asked question in our.
I don't think this baby fits.
I have space at the back though too.
Oh yeah. I think this baby does fit.
There's
Just
a
between the front and the back.
Who was right?
What else do you
Make
need before
money.
this baby comes?
We just need to make.
Baby, what can I go add?
That's really like the biggest.
Oh, just skip
The biggest
that.
stress, which I feel like a lot of is the same deal for a lot of people in Washington County. I don't know.
Yeah.
But really, I don't value money all that much. So in the relative scheme of things, it's not.
Well, we probably value $1 at like 78 cents. So, major problems there when it's multiplied.
Are you getting it? Aaron?
Definitely.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, that's the baby.
Yeah.
Pale are you? I hear it.
Yeah, nice.
No! Carly, help me!
Okay, we're even. It's over.
Okay.
Enough. Truce.
Because you're an ugly caterpillar. Now get out of here. Charlie, for the very first time in his young life, felt bad. That was mean, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. He had finally found a friend, a real friend, a best friend. Tell them what to do. But they knew. Skipper and Scamper were off the stuff.
I don't really have the figures right down pat, but the last time we talked to Bill, it was in the neighborhood. He owed us around $75,000, and that was 2 months ago. So it must be in the neighborhood of around 100,000 right now. We sold a lot of cows ordinarily that we wouldn't sell, just to pay off some of the equipment bills and stuff like that. I mean, for what?
Things break down, so you need money for repair.
8 or 10. I mean, usually I raise 10 to 15, 20 bull calves every year and sell them for feeder beef in the fall. And every calf we get, every bull calf has been going to auction, to either buy fuel or put food on the table or I'll buy you a new car tire where you hit a pothole. You just stretch everything right to the point where you just, like once you can't keep pulling the rabbit out of the hat.
The entire state basically went up almost 110,000 in sales from one year to the next. 80,000 of that was moo milk. So not only did we expand the marketplace, but we obviously captured a fairly significant portion.
And you look at in a period when just the economy is totally flat, and Maine was a 30% jump in organic milk sales. That's really encouraging. It shows that market is nowhere near saturated yet.
No. This is all sounding good, These meetings always sound so positive, but then after like a couple weeks in the trenches, like it's kind of like every day. Like every morning, I wake up like in a good mood and energized. But then by noon, I'm so far behind.
You're all right if you never talk to anybody. I've come to that conclusion. I've given up. I don't want to hear from another farmer.
Cows.
And I just stay home and work and get what I
It
need
is
to get
really
done.
stress-free in the barn, actually.
Yeah.
Because the cows are so mellow. They don't know about any of this.
I know.
They're like chewing their cud. Sometimes
They're not
I
mad
just-
at you if you produce more milk.
No, it's like sometimes I just sit there with them in the holding area. I don't even bring in the next string. I just stand there. I'm like, how long would I need to stand here before they'd realize, hey, this guy's just standing here? And I'm realizing they never would realize. They're just like, oh, he's doing what we do now.
Yeah.
He's just hanging out. And then I'm like, no, okay, cow.
You ain't no brighter than us.
Okay, you want to help me? And you do need to change your clothes. Guys, you've been in that outfit now for multiple days.
No.
Okay, this is your last chance. You lose, and I have it back. Okay. No, that was the deal. I'm gonna pause it. Look, do you want to quit? No. What, dude? Henry, do you want to come in, buddy? Come on, man. You can come in. You don't need to hang out there with the turkeys.
At the tone, please record your message. When you've finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options. To leave a callback number, press 5.
Hey, Nina, it's Aaron, and I was just trying to catch up with you regarding our lease payment, which is currently late again as of yesterday, I believe. So, but like I said, I have that plan. As soon as we sell these turkeys, we're going to be paying like a large portion of that, maybe even half a year at a time. So I'm really sorry about that, but things are just extremely tight around here.
The uncertainty, I think, is a difficult thing to deal with. Farming isn't easy. And I'm sorry, I can't talk about this. It's difficult when you work that hard and can't pay the bills.
Well, our board went through the operating agreement that was made with Moo Milk and Smiling Hill Farm.
Yep.
And Moo Milk has significantly vacated that operating agreement. What we looked at was the original business plan that was put together by Moo and where we should be with respect to sales at this point in time. And we're about 25 to 30% of sales of where we should be according to the plan. The money that's coming in right now, it's a godsend to some folks, there's no question about it. It will not fix this Moo problem.
We need to get the sales up around that 7,000 to 10,000 gallons a week.
Yeah.
And somebody's got to be working on that portion day and night.
That's a priority one, but the last week and a half has been priority is to get some cash on the table or we'd be fucking done now. So, you know.
This 125 or whatever it is, it's a penicillin shot for something that's dying.
This company is on its way down. It's going to go tits up. And like Vaughn Chase says, well, maybe we started this. We'll probably none of us be in business, but maybe somebody else will carry on in it. And I don't see us making it. I'm going to go home and talk with Scott, and I'm going to make a decision sometime this week whether we're going to go conventional or stay with it. I mean, I can't go on any longer.
If we want to be able to stay in business farming at all, like, we have to make a plan B, because I'm not sure that I'm willing to lose everything that we've been working for the past 10 years because of this dream that, yes, is a really good idea, but, has a really good chance of not working out.
And I know that you guys have all tried your damnedest to make this work. But I just went down to the Chinese restaurant and it gave me a fortune. And it said, and that's the wrong one. This is hers, actually. But it makes a lot of sense. Time is precious, but the truth is more precious than time. I said, give me that damn thing. She passed me the cookie, and I said, no, I want the fortune. So here's the problem. We don't have much more time. And I'm not making it up, and I'm not trying to cry a story that everyone else isn't feeling. But I'm here to tell you,
bank today and answer.
we've got to give some answers, and I got to keep my home, and I got to find a way to do that.
But if this ends, there's people here that can go home and kick up and say, we tried our best.
Well, we've all tried.
But
Yeah.
and it goes through bankruptcy. But there's a bunch of farmers here that it's going to be years.
Yeah, absolutely.
Getting out of this.
Right now, on this paper here, it said I owe $42,000 with assignments. That's pretty damn accurate. And they're going to start taking tractors. I mean, they took my Social Security this month because they didn't pick my house payment. That was $1,100 a month. I was putting by far.
There's every one of these stories there. The pain is even.
We're all in the same boat.
Yeah,
We're
absolutely.
all in the same boat.
I'm out of here. Come on, Janet.
Good luck, Richard.
Good luck, Richard. Sorry, truly.
There's no answers, I guess, so we really can't stay any longer. I just can't keep pumping milk on there, so yeah. So we're gonna have to leave as soon as possible. I told him I'd give him a couple days here to see what happened, but you gotta stop the bleeding sometime. You gotta get a bandage out, or in this case, it's a main artery. We better get something to tie off our arm quick. God, I'm gonna piss everybody off.
I don't know how anybody could be mad at you for trying to survive.
I don't know what the answer is to there. You know, they just need to start paying us something for our product. You know, Matt, the big farmers can do it, you know, cheaper, but is it better? You know, is it better for you know to drive by a building with 6,000 head and not even see one of them, or for people to drive by a small farm and see, you know, 40, 50 cows out in green grass, and you know. It's just a shame, you know. When I was a kid, there was cows everywhere, you know.
We're in the jailhouse now. We're in the jailhouse now. Yeah, you told us once or twice. We're playing cards and shooting dice. We're in the jailhouse now. Yes, they told us once or twice. We're playing cards and shooting dice. We're in the jailhouse now.
No, we get a drink.
And let me plot out a plan of action as well as discussing. In my experience, having raised money for a number of different startups, almost every investor of any nature that I've ever gotten in contact with has a limited tolerance for repayment of past money, debt. If they're putting new money in, they want most of the new money to go against making the company successful in the future. The farmers, we've been bouncing around about this back pay issue and the fact that some portion of it is going to have to be converted to equity. I have discussed with most of the staff and founders, and they are reasonably comfortable with what conversion of some of their payables into an equity position. The farmers have ranged everywhere from over my dead body to, okay, I can probably live with that. I still need, all right, something from the board that authorizes me to go ahead with this loan, and two, that we need to get signatures from the farmers in advance of closing on the loan.
Philosophically for me, it's do I keep rallying the troops to say, let's make this work, or at a certain point in time, do you say, let's pull the plug? So
We're going to be years getting out of this, you know. And that's the hard part to choke, that we did this to keep everybody, you know, alive, and we've ruined everybody if we don't keep going, you know.
I don't know how people give up their dreams. And obviously, you know, it's not an easy thing to do because people have made it's not just us that have made serious sacrifices to make this thing work. I feel like we do work so hard and we do deserve to have money in the bank because we're not shoddy people and we're not doing a bad job.
See that right there? That's what he said it was owed at the end of April, right there.
Yeah, but those numbers didn't have all of the payments in them. This is your sheet that we're going to go over. Okay? And
that's not right.
There, well, we're going to start from square one.
This one he did come up with one thing, and another one he did come up with another
That's
thing.
right. And we had to ship it all over to an accountant.
I'm not accepting that. I'm not.
This is the one. I'm struggling here, huh? Listen, folks, we worked a year here to put this together. You got a crew that worked a year for nothing. They're all wore out and unfinanced. Not a nickel has gone into your staff. There's no more room here. What everybody here who's looking at settlement pay, and that goes for everybody, is there's an amount of money that we finally lugged in here. I got no more lug in me. The old car is wore out, I'm wore out. If we don't get moving with this plan to sell some more milk and we sit around and argue, but this is what we got, the deal's on the table, there's a damn lot of money there. I don't know what else to say. I can't believe somebody's not going to take it. This is Tide Mills account right here, okay? And that's what the settlement check amount is. And they have reduced your payment by $12,000 that the investors want you to take in stock. Everybody's got to sign that before everything is done and closed. Okay?
So I don't understand exactly why does your value of a share say one thing, and when I do the math on, it just doesn't. I don't understand.
Come on, you stay out.
This is what they owe you from October to May that they calculate. That's at the regular price. They're asking you to give up this much of it, okay, in stock. And that's the balance.
I can see very plainly that we're going to come out of this digging ourselves out of a hole for the next 15 friggin' years.
You understand and agree to that any liens, assignments, or other outside claims to these payments are solely your responsibility. And you agree to hold Moo Milk harmless.
It's really been a step outside for a lot of them to think about, well, I can't survive if my neighbor doesn't stay in. You know, the old model is you do everything. You know, the new model may be that you figure out how to do things with other people.
Let me digress for just a second. I don't have to call because he emailed me. The guy from Whole Foods.
Yeah.
And as near as I can tell, it's like 15 or 16, but I'll have to, I mean, it's tough to read on my screen.
Either 15 or 16.
Forward it to me. We got a lot of X's here.
Yep, X's are good.
Okay, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 stores.
All right, so.
We're gonna do so good in those 14, the other
Okay.
6 are begging.
That's it. Yeah, we just came on the shelves. All right, here's the skim. Would you like a cookie to go with that? Okay, you sure? Thank you very much, and our farmers appreciate it. This is the 9th and 10th generation on that same farm. So remember Moo Milk when you buy milk. Thank you.
We've been buying your milk for going on a year now or
Yeah.
so.
Well, thank you.
Glad to
Appreciate
hear
it.
that's
Yeah.
going to keep up.
Yeah.
We'll keep
Thank
buying
you for
it.
supporting us.
You bet.
Yeah, I just poured it.
Can I have a skim?
Well, we hit a little rough patch, and there were a lot of rumors about us closing down, but we're not. We're still alive and kicking.
Added weight.
Yummy, huh?
Hey, it's gotten better with a little age.
That's good.
I mean, I saw it fresh. I tasted some of this fresh, and that was a few days ago. No, this is definitely better. It's chilled.
It's like wine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. It smells. It tastes like money.
Yeah.
It seems unbelievable to me.
Not yet.
Cheers, Henry.
Tasted like pennies for quite a while. As energy costs and everything skyrocket, you know, and especially Aroostook County, we have so much land and stuff that you know, we could feed, you know, at least New England or the East Coast right here locally without trucking stuff, you know, and I believe, you know, whether you like this business, this type of business, and believe this is the way it should be or not, probably someday it will be forced to be more localized. You know, it only makes sense.
And I only been addicted to milking cows for about 5 years. Now these people that have been milking cows since they were 15 they need to go to like several like self-help classes. You know, I could probably still get done. I could probably still get off the stuff. You know, but these guys that have been in it for their whole lives, they can't ever stop milking cows.
I see us milking 200 on this farm down here before it's all said and done. I still think I can talk Scotty going back into it again. If I make my mind up to do something, I do it. And like I told Scotty, I say, I have never lost nothing in my life yet, and I ain't about to lose nothing now. You make it work. You start out with if you don't have a dream or a goal in life, you have nothing. Yeah, I know. You old doofus. You old doofus. Come on, girls. Come on, babes. Come on. Come on, babies. Come on. Come on, babies. Come on. Right out here. Come on. Come on. Come on. That's not that big a step. Come on. Come on. Come on. Hey, don't go through that gate.
We know we'll never be, ourselves will never have any money, but maybe our kids will be able to, you know, farm a lot easier than we did. You will never see a chase with a wristwatch, because it doesn't matter what time it is. My son don't wear a watch, my wife don't wear a watch. I don't know anybody in my family that wears a watch. Yeah. We start and we stay till it's done. That's the way it is.